Hey, how are you? Captain here. I see you tried to, enjoy a new game here. It's a demo. And if you're like me, you like pirates. Let me wipe that off. If you like pirates, you're gonna love this game. If you like survival, you're gonna love this game. That I can promise you. It's everything you've been waiting for. And everything you've been asking for. Here, let's go check out me ship. Took me a while to get this bad boy. It wasn't easy. Okay. Edward Teach Blackbeard proclaims himself the king of the pirates. Ooh, he is the king. Rumors are spreading that he's struck a bargain with the devil himself and commands the dead. After crushing the British fleet, Teach turns his forces toward Teach? Okay. Teach turns his forces towards Tortuga, the last bastion of freedom and independence in the Caribbean. Not looking for trouble, and with a couple of other poor souls in tow, you try to slip your fast ship through the blockade ring. But just a few days later, you wake up in your cabin and realize you're under attack. You wake up on the cabin floor to the clash of sabers. Your head is pounding and your vision swims. Check the back of your head. A big lump in the back of your head. Okay. Last thing you remember, the deck launching under your feet is the cannonballs hit the hull. Okay. Attack, you need to get out of the cabin. What's going on? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I can deal with that, dude. I can deal with that. Captain, I thought you died in the first broadside. Skip the details, Doc. How bad is it? Blackbeard's pirates are boarding us. They're everywhere. Half the crew's dead, but some are still fighting. Go help the others. Perhaps you may yet turn the tide. Okay. A hard fight lies ahead, and your vision is still swimming after the concussion. Drink some coffee to rouse yourself. Okay, press 2. Yeah, break down the barricade. Let's go, baby. Oh, okay. Okay. What? Did you say something, homie? I didn't think so. Can you search, guys? Okay, good. This is just a hack and slash. Nice. What's this? Can I shoot this? No? Okay. Okay, he got me 2 times. Why isn't he dying, bro? No, okay, I had to block him first. I wasn't reading the screen very well. Is there like stuff to pick up or? Okay, I guess it's good. I'm just gonna follow I head to the upper deck. All right, let's do this. I found the artifact. It really was on the ship. Anchored down my throat. Something's definitely not right with this thing. Get the captain. He'll handle it. Off my ship, you dogs. You weren't supposed to be here, boys. Nice move, Captain. What is that? Spry, aren't you? Consider yourself deposed, Cap. Take the artifact from him. I was gonna put my name as Cap. That filth, he's eating him. It's eating him. Holy Mary, protect us! Devil, take it, Captain Richards! Not with your bare hands, you idiots! Throw the bodies overboard. We're leaving. Look where my big hand is pointing. Look at it! Alright, so something got on my arm. Something. It's gonna make me the best pirate in the world. It's a pirate artifact. Do I have to escape this? Hello? Apparently. Alright, so I've been injured. I've been shot. And I have an alien on my arm now. But I'm not complaining, as you see, it's turned out pretty well. And I'd like to thank the streamer Hasmongold, whoever viewer it was that recommended this while I was watching your stream. Much obliged. It's a great game. Let's get to the trailer, and it'll get you hooked just like it did me.
What will he do with a drunken sailor? What will he do with a drunken sailor? What will he do with a drunken sailor? She rises. She rises. She rises. In the me. What will he do with a drunken sailor? What will he do with a drunken sailor? What will he do with a drunken sailor? In the morning. Young thoughtless men, award and take by me, and never leave your happy homes to sail the raging sea. For I have plowed the raging main this 20 years or more, but now I'm turned adrift to starve upon my English shore. By raging storms and tempests, shipwrecked 3 times I've been, and many a bloody battle upon the seas I've seen. I've seen the cannons glaring, yes, I've heard its thunderous roar. So now I'm turned adrift to starve upon my English shore.
And now that your sabers are all rattled up, let's go ahead and get into some of the basics. But before I do, I'd like to just say a little spoiler alert. What we're going to cover is going to be everything from here at the beginning all the way to the end of the demo until you get the notice that it's over. However, you can continue on, but we don't cover anything after that. So spoiler alert for anything from here to the end of the demo. And if you want to continue on after that, everything after that is open. Nothing's covered in this video. Nice. Fair warning to you landlubbers out there. Okay, let's continue. In the beginning, you're going to have to build a base. This is based around your campfire. Everything that you build is based around your campfire. In fact, a lot of the things don't even operate without the campfire present. So build your campfire wherever you want to have some things put up. It's only 5 wood, really cheap, but you have to have it. So base building begins with that. It's going to prompt you to do this stuff anyway throughout the tutorial. So the 4 things you're going to need ingredient-wise are wood, fiber, stone, and nails. Now nails you can get from shipwrecks. So one of the first things you're going to have to do is build your little campfire, get some food, get some shipwrecks under your belt so that you can get some nails. Oh, cool. Give me nails too. So you can have a container in order to store your stuff in. Once you have that, you can go ahead, do your normal looting around, get your rock, get your wood, and get your fiber. You can also find clay around, but you don't have a pickaxe right away in the beginning. So don't even worry about the clay. Go ahead and grab all the other stuff, build your base, follow the prompts until you can move along into the next step of the phase. The next step or phase in this is going around and collecting food sources. Possibly fighting some of the enemies, but in the beginning you don't really have a strong weapon or a strong defense. You do have a little bit, and you can fight, but you will die in the beginning. I died a handful or 2 of times in the beginning. It's just something that comes with the game. You do spawn, and you can go right back and grab your stuff. It's pretty simple. In fact, I think I died twice before grabbing my bag, and all the good stuff was still in the bag, so it's pretty relaxed on that. Aside from that, you're going to just explore the island, collect your dodo birds and your boar parts and food from them. Also, you're going to come across some castles, like busted down castles. They all have lootable crates in there. They're numbered on how many crates they have, so just search around until you find all the items. And you're going to come across some caves, and you're going to need the pickaxe. So build your workbench, get your pickaxe, and you're going to have to get copper. It's the next thing. Copper is very important in this game. You're going to be looting a lot of copper. You're going to be going to a lot of copper mines and just pretty much taking all the copper out of the mines in order to move on to the next phases. Now this game does have quests. That's pretty much how you progress through the game, is follow the quest line. In order to do the quest line expediently, make sure you're always collecting resources. This game really hammers you for not constantly collecting wood or fiber. You need a lot of it. Wood, fiber, and copper are pretty much the most you need unless you want to build in stone. If you want to build in stone, then you're going to have to get the stone. And it does have a pretty good building system. It's kind of a typical build system, squared off. You have some triangle pieces. Pretty basic, and you can throw it up real quick. That's one of the things I like about these games like this, is you can really customize your house and build a nice one really quick. And things open up to you as you go, new building items, new building options. And you're doing all this, and you're working towards all this stuff in order to do one thing, and that's to finally get your boat. Your steed on the water. But it's not an easy quest, and it takes a long time. This is a 20-some gig demo, so it is pretty entailed. The next thing you're going to want to work on is your workbenches. The workbenches work typically like they usually do. The first one opens up the other ones and some more crafting options, and then they open up some more options, and you learn more crafting as you go through the system. Kind of like your typical workbench system. And you're going to realize you have to actually leave the island eventually. There's a little boat that you get. It's kind of cool. Kind of teaches you the basics of floating around. Only goes 10 knots, kind of slow. But it does get you trained up for the boat ride. The main one, the big one. We'll get to that later, though. This game also incorporates firearms. They are firearms of the time, so they're flintlock, so just be ready for that. They take a little time to fire, take a little time to reload. You know the gig. If you're a pirate fan, you know the gig, matey. And you move from a broken pistol to a regular pistol to a musket, to a good musket. So the weapons progress, the armor progresses, and it actually looks really cool. You start out looking like a scrub, but in the end, you look like a captain again. So now with some of those basics out of the way, let's go ahead and get into a little gameplay. Let's grab this loose wood. We're going to be building something here soon. Got seashells, bro. Ooh, I can listen to the ocean in that one. Yeah, I have quite a large amount of things. Okay. So B is to craft. Let me see. Open catalog. What's this thing? A bonfire. Okay. Alright, so we're just gonna make this. Oh, there's food here. Just gonna make that near the beach. Alright, now I can cook. Okay. There it is. Okay. Now what does this do for me? Stone bullet. What else can I... Alright, I need a stone axe and a stone pickaxe. Ooh, what's this? Oh, okay, I can chop it up. Okay. Alright. I have to take this and make it something. Okay. Let's go try and kill one of these birds. We're gonna need food again soon. Just like... Okay. Did it just automatically give it to me? Oh, it did. Sweet, dude. Let's chop this thing up. Oh, cool. Gives you a bunch of wood. Oh, cool. Give me nails, too. Nice, dude. I don't know how strong this axe is, but I can make another one. Alright, so I gotta build myself a... Does it give you grids? What? What? That's crazy. Gives you circular grids. I can't build there because it's already sitting there. We're gonna make it just off over here. That's crazy, bro. That's cool, man. Let's see, how do we want this? Looks like our land is gonna be set kind of like this. I'll get a straight line somewhere. Right here. I think 6 is enough. Let me go 7. Oh, it's going a bit low. 1, 2, 3. Alright. What's I can build? Okay. Alright, not enough resources. Okay. Let's toss somebody over there. What the f*** is that? What the f*** is that thing? Is that a zombie? What the hell? Dude, I ain't got that kind of weaponry. I mean, maybe. I don't know, let me go over here. Just let me get my house built. I'll fight them all after that. They gotta make walls. Oh. I don't think it really matters. Huh? I don't know. How do I get off there? There we go. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Make a door. Okay, yeah, hold on. Okay. Am I out? Okay. That's how it's done, though. Alright, let's go get some more plant fiber. We're getting there. So the base isn't going to take too much to build. Alright, this game's pretty fun, man. I mean, right now I'm just kind of exploring, grabbing stuff. Alright, let's try to finish this. We might be able to finish this with what we got. 92.
Well, she's not much, lads, but she's home for now. And we'll worry about upgrades later.
I should be able to move all my stuff in here now. I'm gonna put this thing over here. There we go. Now it's indoors. I should be able to use it. Alright, what do I have on right now? Nothing. Okay. Alright, so I need rough hide. I have 1. Alright, I need to go kill some boars. That's the bottom line, buddy. That's the bottom line.
Arg, matey, I'm sure I got your juices flowing. But what we're all here for is something a little different. Something a little added. Pirate style. Survival's nice, a lot of games have this aspect, but there's something this game has. It's what Sea of Thieves wanted to be. So let me give you the last spoiler. I don't want to ruin it all for you, but the islands are full of treasure and good fun. But the one thing I was looking forward to was the warfare, the sea warfare. And there's a lot to it. I don't want to spoil it all for you, like I said, so let's just get
I need to know what these are.
to the end, where we finish this little trial in anticipation for the full release. So enjoy the final battle.
Alright, so it wants me to blow this boat up. Alright, let's do it, dude.
Ship's under your hand, Captain.
Is it now? Oh shit, Captain. Don't worry, boys. We're getting out of here. We're getting out of here, boys.
Helm's yours, Captain.
Finally, huh? Alright, I got a hit. Alright, we got her, boys. No problem. She can't withstand the speed of the galley. The galleon. I missed. We missed her, boys. Nice. Dude. Dude, I'm wish listing this for sure. That was awesome, dude. Alright, so how do we... Alright, so what do we do here? Hold on. Alright, hold on. We gotta get a little closer, boys. A little bit closer. A little bit closer, boys. Alright, what do we got here, fellas? Alright, insignia of Blackbeard Sergeant. Okay. Visions, rum bottle, salt. Okay. Can we like go to like Tortuga? I wonder.
The ship's under your hand, Captain.
Alright. Let's head back. That was awesome, dude. I can't wait till we get a little more of that. Okay, so I wanted to go over these controller layouts because it can be a little confusing. So let me also pull up this so you can see this as well. Actually, let me start with the game because that's where it all starts. So when you go to change your controller settings, you first got to know what input the game thinks the button does. That's where it all stems from. For instance, if it thinks black is Alt, then you have to make sure that whatever you want black to be on your controller, you make it the Alt button. And that's the basic concept. Now things can get a little wonky though because certain things work in certain places and you kind of got to play with it depending on your play style, right? I like to use my controller. I'm a controller player, so I'm always trying to adapt whatever they give me here to the controller. Now they did apologize for not having controller settings really available, but Steam has a pretty good setup here, so we're going to go through what I did to change how I play to make this pretty seamless. It's actually really good. I haven't had a special attack yet that I've noticed with F key, so I haven't really, it hasn't been a thing yet. If I notice it, I might incorporate it somehow, but right now everything's working perfect. I've actually finished this, so let's just get into these controller settings real quick. We all know that WASD, right? We know all what those do. Those are your normal things, and it works just fine on your control stick. Move back, right? That all works just fine. Perfectly. No problems. The sprint is your shift key. I like to sprint with one of my keys from the 3 set, the L3 or the R3. I mean, you can have a sprint over here. That's just not how I play. I'm just going to go through how I play. You can just adapt it to your play style and switch the keys accordingly. So you just change it. I change it to sprint was my shift key. So I put it to L. You'll notice the caps lock key is also lit up right here. We'll get to that in a moment. That's a little more intricate. And that has to do with the walking. Okay. So I have dash as my other R3. So I can dash with this one and sprint with this one. Now there's no toggle to sprint, so you have to hold it down, which is a little bit of a pain in the ass, but I deal with that. You know, I have to deal with what you have to deal with what you deal with. Interact is E. It had it set to the B key or the circle key for PlayStation. I didn't like that. It wasn't bad actually, but I wanted that to be my. Eventually, it ended up being my target lock key, so I moved interact to Y. You can kind of play with some of these button presses and just put them where you want them. So, like I said, I had target lock put to T, or it's set to T, so I set that to the B button. So I just tap it. It's on and off tap. There's no toggle between players by pushing left or right or anything like that. So you just toggle. It toggles to the closest player, so that helps to know that. The walking. Now this is where it gets weird for this. So the caps lock is walk, right? So if I click this and I go to, and I set an outer ring command to caps lock so that it would walk, right? But in the settings, you have to change something. Let me just go back a minute. In order to get to this, you have to click on this set right here. It says left joystick. So you just click on the set. You go to shift key. Now you can go over here. When this isn't here, you just go over here and you add extra command, and it'll pop that screen up right here. And then you can just set whatever you want. But you have to change the settings in this, right? So go to this one that you just made, change the settings from caps lock, right? And put invert input. Because if you don't, let me just show you how this works. Let me just do this real quick. I'll change this. I'm going to change this back. But if I walk real fast, I'm pushing the stick all the way forward right now, and he's walking. If I let off the stick a little bit, he runs. It should be the opposite. I should be able to push forward all the way, and he kind of does the running, right? That's why you have to invert that setting. So let's go back in there. Manage my controller layouts. View my layout. Click here again. Go down to the outer ring command that I'd made. Go to my settings. Turn this right. Make that to where it's supposed to be, right? Actually, I don't like I hate backing out of that. Just so I don't have to do this all the time. Just minimize it. Okay. See, now I hold forward all the way and he's actually running, right? And I just hold it a little bit and he walks. I don't know why it's like that, but I had to mention it because if you mess around too much, you'll just go crazy. So just watch that over a few times if it takes a minute to get it. It's cool because it is a little confusing. So let's pull this up. Actually, I gotta do this first. These up real quick. Below that again. Bring this up. Okay. So that was your caps lock. That's one of the only hard parts of this because there's a lot of there's a lot of things to do as far as controls, and controller layouts only hold so much unless you have like the kind of controller that has the little buttons extra, which I don't have that one. The pros and all that stuff. So let's move on to the light attack. I believe they had these switched. The aim and the attack were switched up. This one was the right click, and this one was the left click, or my controller had it switched up. One of the two. So right now I have, let's see, the triggers. This is my aim. This is my heavy attack. Right mouse click is the right. See, right attack. I think they had these switched, so I switched them up so that I didn't have to switch them up on here. So sometimes you have to switch things in here too, and that can get really tricky. Do I do it here or do I do it here? Okay. The heavy attack I didn't change, but I did make my heavy attack my RB button, which is my top clicker up here is a heavy attack. So if I'm swinging my sword and I want to throw a heavy one in there, I just tap that. My block alt used to be what I shot with, but I switched it up. I just wanted that because I don't know what happened with my settings, but this is what it ended up. Block is alt, right? So I have block as alt with my left trigger. I have LB as my aim, so that's my top thing. We'll get to that here. It's coming up. You got reload as R, that's the easy one. And like I said, aim, which was your left mouse button, I have as my left bumper. So my left trigger is block. It also blocks when I have my gun. And that's the thing is the guns and the melee weapons have different operations. You can aim and block with your gun. You don't really aim necessarily with your other weapons. You're blocking the whole time. There's no you don't aim your action. I mean, you just hold up your block and you just swing it. You can target lock, which is a different targeting, but aiming with the gun is a different targeting system. So you have to have a button for it. Is basically the bottom line. Long story short, I guess you could say. So you kind of have to switch them up. So I have block as my left trigger and aim as my LB. I changed my firing because my trigger would just block. Anytime I pulled my trigger, it just kept blocking. So yeah, I had to make my fire just some off button. It was just a button that didn't do anything else in a game. And which is nice about having a keyboard is there's so many buttons. You can just pick a button that doesn't do anything and set it to something a lot of times. It gives you a little bit of freedom. So I just set it to the minus key, and then I set my firing button, my right trigger, to the minus key. That way anytime I pull that trigger, it thinks I'm hitting the minus key, and the minus key is set to firing the weapon. It makes it easier. So I just pull with the left bumper to aim in with my sights, and then I use the right trigger to pull to fire the gun. I also use it as my heavy attack. Or not my heavy attack, but my normal attack. It's the right mouse click, as you can see. As I have that as my full click, and then I have the half click as the fire weapon, just so that I can have them both on the same trigger. It's the only way. Like, I'm just so glad. I mean, I think you can add a function to it. But you start adding too many functions to buttons and it really starts messing things up. 2 is about the max. And this one comes 2 ready with a half click and a full click. And I pretty much full click every time. And when you're firing your weapon, you can't melee attack anyway. So the one you want to act as your half click. So like think about this. When I'm not firing my gun, I can't shoot my weapon. And it goes to the right mouse click, I guess you could say. And I hope I explained this well enough to you, because all I know is it works. Whatever this setup is, it works. The used items are, they're normal. I think your D-pad has them set. You can use up to 4 in your D-pad. No, I don't know what the special attack is. I think you have to be like... I think you have to have a special weapon to do a special attack, which I don't have yet, but I'm not really sure. Game menu. For some reason, inventory. I had a problem with my inventory. My start button was weird, so I just switched my select button to the I key to make the select button my inventory. And of course, the start button is the menu button, the escape button, and it works really well. I have no problems with that at all. As far as the buildings is concerned, I really didn't change much. You just hit B to build, and then there's some controls. It's kind of wonky, but usually when I'm building, I just switch over to mouse and keyboard from controller. They're compatible. Like I can hold I can hold my controller, move around with my left stick, and then use my mouse also to look around. It's kind of a hybrid mode, and I think a lot of games are utilizing that a bit. So, building's not actually that difficult in this game. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty basic. I don't want to go over that too much. But the boat, I haven't changed anything around yet. I wish you could toggle the inverted look on the boat, but you can't. And I'm an inverted person. I play inverted ever since Top Gun. But that's my demon to deal with. So I hope you like the settings, because they really, really work. I hope you can get them to work with yours if you're on a controller. And enjoy playing with these badass settings. We'll see you out there.